right. Good morning, everybody. It is Rockland News. Thanks for joining us this morning. First of all, let's get into the weather. It's all cloudy and rainy. This whole freaking week has been like rainy and thunder and lightning and storms and humidity and blah, v freaking blah. And today it's going to be more of that over most of the day. I mean, up until like about 5 o'clock today, it's going to be cloudy and rainy and 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, you're going to see just a smattering of sun until that goes down. And then you're going to have this nighttime thing happening. So you're going to have a high of 81 degrees today. Here is your sarcastic weather forecast. Saturday is going to be 77 degrees and all sunny, according to this Google weather map. And then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's going to be anywhere from 35 to 70% chance of rain. Really nice mid-range weather, 82, 82, 81, 84, 83. And then who the hell knows about the week after. So that is your weather. We do want to thank our sponsors. Let me just head over to there and thank all of the many, many sponsors that help us day in and day out with putting this show on the air. First of all, we want to thank the New York Boulders baseball team, Yabu Fence Company, Dana Pest Control, and the Flowery Cannabis Dispensary. We're going to have another article about the Flowery on rocklandsnews.com. They recently hosted another music event over there. And that's starting to turn into kind of like a hot spot for original and very creative music. I don't know. I don't know much about this cannabis. From what I'm told, cannabis paired with music tends to create emotions of, wow, that was pretty cool. I think that's the name of the emotion. It's not in the DSM-5. Maybe they'll figure out for the DSM-6 right around the time the Grand Theft Auto 6 shows up, which is going to be on November 19th. By the way, has anybody seen that trailer on Netflix? I watched it last night, and it is ridiculous in terms of the realism. I mean, this is kind of like the biggest thing since the Guns N' Roses Chinese Democracy album came out. And we all know how that went. It was a resounding success. But hopefully, right out of the gate, Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be a success. And I think we'll probably get a copy of it. I might even have to upgrade. I get a PS5. But I think for this, as far as the ray tracing and all of the amazing graphics and obviously the gameplay and the dialogue that looks like a movie, it really does. I think I might get a PS5 Pro finally. So we'll see. It's got to be worth it, right? Got to drop $1,000 for that these days. Anyway, there's more sponsors. Mention Rockland's News and get these deals. Fiesta Acapulco, you get a free coquito with your dinner. Kobe Sushi with their jazz music lounge, music Wednesdays and Fridays and Saturday nights. If you mention Rockland News, you get 15% off your entire sushi order, minimum $75. We went there, my wife and I, and we checked out Este Diva. She was performing this past Wednesday, and the food there is just off the charts. I mean, look, I was always a sushi person. I used to, back in the day, go to, the place on the hill, Mount Fuji in Sloatsburg. All right. And they're good. They're really, really good. I enjoy them a lot when I went there in the past. But there's something about Kobe Sushi, the way that they do it. They're not trying to go heavy duty on the, let's just say, the heritage. They're going heavy duty on the feeling walking in. There's a certain vibe when you walk in. It just turns into like a jazz, smoky, very elegant, large, very, very well neon lit with 2 bars and 80-person seating. You feel kind of wealthy. You really do. So definitely check them out. Kobe Sushi. Music Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturday nights. And again, if you mention Rockland News, you get 15% off your entire sushi order. Like, whoa. All right. Breakpoint Bowling, located in West Haverstraw, New York. If you mention Rockland's News, when you walk into their $2 million newly renovated facility with 20 bowling lanes and big screen TVs on top of every bowling lane. Plus, you got Joey A's restaurant. Hey, yo, how you doing? Great food over there. They have a DJ on the weekends. If you mention Rockland's News, you also get to experience A free $10 arcade card. Plus, they have laser tag. What? Uh huh. Whole shot bagels. If you mention Rockland's News, you get a free bagel. That's for first time customers only. You got to check out their bacon, egg, and cheese. And Clever is, he's just basically, he's rolling with the bacon, egg, and cheese necklace. It's amazing. I might have him as a guest at Rockland Music Fest. Uh, Not this one. If we do a next one, we'll see. By the way, Rockland Music Fest is coming up on September 12th. We'll have a lot of announcements about that. We want to thank more sponsors: Mad Tea Party Productions for fun, affordable photo booths. Mention Rockland News and get 10% off your entire photo booth rental. And special thanks to these fine local businesses: Stony Point Massage, North Rockland Chiropractic, UPS Store in West Haverstraw, 99 Signs for all your digital billboard and portable sign needs. And by the way, Greg, we got an order that we have for banners for Rockland Music Fest. So stay tuned. That is going to be showing up shortly. 99 Signs is located in West Nyack, New York, and they do all of our signs, not just for the festival, but for, like, for instance, a very large sign that we put in the Nanuet Diner. Um, it's a fantastic sign. It's very, very well done. The dimensions are perfect. They didn't know that we were going to put that sign up in the Nanuet Diner. We just ordered it, and then we also used it over at the Nyack Music and Arts Festival fundraiser in Pearl River about 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks or so. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, we should reuse this sign. We should use it for something that helps the greater good. So it's sitting in the Nanuet Diner right now. Special thanks to some of the individuals in the group that motivated me to hoist that sign. And we want to thank FZ Perfection. You bend them, we mend them. Auto body repair located in Congers, New York. You can visit them at fzperfection.com to check out the quality work that they do. And of course, Clean Space Maintenance Management Company. Get the mobile dumpster for just $199. $199. And you can have this thing sitting in front of your house. You could throw all the stuff that you don't want in your house into the dumpster, not your relatives. All right. But just throw all the other clutter and the junk and the stuff that just accumulates ad nauseum every effing day of our natural existences. It's just more and more and more stuff. Okay. You just throw it out. You just get rid of it. And then you have much more of a feng shui atmosphere. You feel good inside. You feel you feel fulfilled by the clean space. Get the mobile dumpster for just $199 right now, ladies and gentlemen. Visit cleanspacemmc.us. That's right. And then they just haul it away. They just get rid of all your stuff, bing, bang, boom. And they bring it down to Rockland Green. And Rockland Green is located in Orangetown? I think Orangetown. Okay. All right. So those are our sponsors. We want to thank you guys for participating. And we also want to thank our local officials that communicate regularly with Rockland News. Supervisor of the town of Haverstraw, Howard Phillips. Stony Point Supervisor Amy Conklin Stam. Clarkstown Supervisor George Holman. Congressman Mike Lawler. Village of Nyack Mayor Joe Rand. And many more, actually. We haven't spoken with someone like, for instance, Senator Weber, we haven't spoken with in a while. It's mostly because we haven't reached out to him, but he sends us the press releases and everything like that. So on rocklandsnews.com, you can see what all the elected officials are doing at any given moment in time. You head over to rocklandsnews.com and you can find out, did they brush their teeth today? The world wants to know. You head over to rocklandnews.com right now. Plus, we got a variety of stories on there. We post about 600 stories per year. Special thanks to Lara and Heather and Robert, who is our Monday morning live streamer, and several others that really help out. I should also note, just as a side, as long as we're on this segment, I'll just say very quickly and briefly, and then we're going to move on. So, those of you that checked in on Wednesday and over the last 2 weeks, you noticed that I'm basically raw dogging it myself. I do not have a co host. Well, it turns out that for the foreseeable future, I will not be having a co host. I wish Mike well in his future endeavors. We had a good run. That's the only way I could put it. We had a good run, man. So I wish you the best, and hopefully all will be well with you and your family and your friends for the foreseeable future. So we're going to get into the news right now, and we want to make sure that you understand that this is just the stuff that we receive and then we reach out to and find out. But sometimes there's additional pieces of news that come from other very reputable sources. So we cover all the different news organizations and we do these blurbs and everything so that you're aware of these stories. But make sure that you check out each of these individual places. Obviously, rocklandsnews.com. We also want to mention the Rockland Report, the Muncie Scoop, Rockland County Biz Journal, the Rockland Post, Nyack News and Views, the Rockland County Times, the Hudson Valley Press, the Mid Hudson News, the Peekskill Herald, and also new to our family of people that we report on. We're like meta reporters, the Rockland Daily. L'chaim! How you doing today? All right, so we're going to do all that. We're going to do all that. And the nice thing about it is that we are just reporting. And I'm not saying that I obviously have my opinions about various things. You have your opinions about various things, but we're just going to report on what happened, especially in print. All right. So if you go to rocklandnews.com and you see any stories about this, that, or the other, all right, it's basically just going to be about what happened. Are we going to comment on it? Hell yeah. We're going to comment on it on the show here because that's the whole idea. Is like we got the news to read and then you dialogue, you talk with people about this and that. Sometimes it gets a little contentious. That's okay. That's what we have elections for, right? So we could watch the blood sport that happens in September and October this coming year. But yeah, so the point is that we're going to talk about all this stuff from all these different publications. And, first on shows like this right now, we're just going to report. But I do encourage you to have that active dialogue with your friends, family. Go to town hall meetings, go to village hall meetings, go to board meetings, and find out what's going on. But also go to the Flowery Cannabis Dispensary and check out the music scene that's building on Fridays and Saturdays because they have an entertainment room right next to the Flowery Cannabis Dispensary. There's an entertainment room that holds like about 20 or 30 people. We actually had auditions for several of the bands that are going to perform at Rockland Music Fest. And pretty damn awesome, I have to say. Last night, just as a side note, we also were checking out our sixth band that is performing, and that's the George Romano Band. Let me see if I could find some audio from last night's performance. I actually do have it. Let me see if I could Bluetooth in on this. I could share this with you right now. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm impressed. Where is it? NRC speaker. Where the hell is it? I should have a Bluetooth thing here. I don't have. Let me see if I can find it on here. Just give me one moment. This is worth the wait. Let's play some music and we'll come back. I'm still looking for it, so let's go for some more music. It's worth it. It's worth it. All right, it's gonna load up in a minute. I found it, but I can't connect my freaking iPad over to the podcast board for some reason. But I did find it on my iPad, and now, I mean, these are first world problems, but I have to like transfer it over to our Basecamp project platform, and then I'm gonna play it from there. So I know you don't give a damn about that, and that's okay. I'm just trying to fill the dead air at this point. And there will be dead air for the next several weeks. And that's okay. This is going to be more like a filibuster style news segment. All right. While that's happening, let's get into some of the news. All right. First of all, Clarkstown ethics complaint targets deputy supervisor. A Clarkstown supervisor candidate is asking the town ethics board and Rockland County District Attorney's Office to investigate deputy supervisor Al Maroney over discounted air conditioning work at his home. Eugene Bondar alleges that the discount may have violated Clarkstown's ethics rules because the contractor later received a town heating and air conditioning contract. Contractor Nick Cantor told Rockland County Biz Journal that a job normally costing roughly $12,000 to $13,000 was completed for about $5,600. Maroney did not respond directly to the publication, while Clarkstown said its independent ethics board handles complaints separately. No finding of wrongdoing has been made. Several significant real estate deals were reported this week. A mixed use building at 20 South Broadway in Nyack sold for $5 million through a Chapter 11 bankruptcy plan to a Muncie based buyer. Two other downtown Nyack mixed use properties at 66 South Broadway and 98 Main Street sold together for nearly $2.8 million. Meanwhile, the New York Attorney General approved the roughly $2.2 million sale of a synagogue property on West Clarkstown Road in New City to another religious congregation. What religion? The transactions reflect continued investment in Rockland's commercial and mixed use property market. I'm guessing that it's Swahili. It's like a Swahili group that has decided to come in and set up shop. That's my guess. That, and I don't know if Swahili a language or no, actually, you know what, as I think about it, I think it's a language. So it'll be a language center. Yeah. A Spring Valley attorney has been suspended from practicing law for 5 years following disciplinary proceedings involving money connected to real estate closings. RC Biz Journal reports an appellate court found attorney Joseph Kunstlinger, oh yeah, we reported on this on Wednesday, failed to properly handle funds that have been entrusted to him. The court's decision describes broad failures involving his fiduciary responsibilities. The legal duties attorneys have when safeguarding money belong to clients or others. Those are the legal duties. When the 5-year suspension prevents Kunstlinger from practicing law during that period. The case is another reminder that attorneys who control escrow and closing funds are subject to strict professional and financial accountability rules. And I would have to agree. That was a story from RC Biz Journal. I would have to agree. And it's like rule number one, do not commingle your funds. Not a good idea, not a good look. It's like, just like, don't do it or something like that. So we're still waiting on that damn video to upload. And again, this is the Rockland News filibuster edition. A Valley is urging Clarkstown officials to step up traffic enforcement on Mountain View Avenue. In a letter published by RC Biz Journal, Krista Z said speeding cars, motorcycles, and large trucks have made the narrow and winding road increasingly dangerous for motorists and pedestrians. She called for stronger enforcement, possible speed monitoring equipment, additional signage, and restrictions on large trucks. Zia also raised concerns about pedestrian access near the bridge over the New York State Thruway. The claims appear in reader-submitted opinion and have not been independently established as findings by local government. Rockland County's unemployment rate stood at 3.7% in July, according to preliminary numbers from the New York State Department of Labor. The rate was similar to much of the surrounding Hudson Valley. Putnam County came in slightly lower at 3.4%, while Westchester and Sullivan counties were each at 3.8%. The broader Hudson Valley also added about 14,100 private sector jobs over the previous 12 months, an increase of roughly 1.7%. Figures suggest that Rockland continues to operate within a relatively tight regional labor market heading toward the final months of 2026. Now, one thing to note about that is very important is that that's also including gig jobs like DoorDash. And I'm not a fan of DoorDash, in my opinion. I think it's kind of predatory, where they basically, it's like, oh, I can make all this money delivering this thing for $20. But then the wear and tear on the car, the time involved, the mistakes that could be made, the potential for traffic accidents. Now, I know delivery is delivery, but it's just, and I personally think, I don't know if this is going to be true or not, but it's that gig delivery economy, it's going to be the downfall of our current economic system. And it changes every 20 years. That's just the way it goes. 20 years ago, 9/11 changed everything. We're coming up on the 25th anniversary of 9/11, by the way, 25 years ago. But, obviously, when you see like a major crisis that happens, for instance, 2007, 2008, 2012, then you got COVID, 2020. It reshapes the economy into something different. And I do tend to notice that a new change is coming, especially with the advent of AI. And I think DoorDash they'll survive. They'll certainly survive. But I'm not necessarily saying that it's going to be something that'll be beneficial for the employees. I think the first thing that they're going to get rid of is DoorDash once automatic cars and being able to drive around and, you know, deliver the stuff. We got drones coming in. Seriously, Amazon is actually expanding its footprint to have drone delivery. So it's going to be a wild ride, especially going into the 2030s. All that stuff that you imagined that was going to happen around 2000, now it's really going to happen. And you're going to see a lot of the start of that in 2027. That's just my prediction. Okay, so we have that finally uploaded. Let me just so this is the George Romano band. They were performing last night. This is just like a 1 minute clip, but as I said before, definitely worth it. Got the chance to watch George and his band perform for about 2 hours last night, just recording some footage and catching the vibes and whatnot. So here we go. Just heading over there into our platform on Basecamp. By the way, I highly recommend Basecamp for video and file moving because that saved my life today. All right, so here is the George Romano band without further ado. And that is the George Romano band, and they will be performing at Rockland Music Fest 12. And that's going to be September 12th at Bowline Point Park, overlooking the Hudson River. Yep, we're back on the river, baby, just like we were in the 2020s and stuff like that. We still are in the 2020s, but yeah, we did a lot of this is our 12th annual concert, and at least 5 of them thus far have been on the Hudson River. So this is our 6th one on the Hudson River. And we move it around. Last year, we did it over at Clover Stadium. That was big. That was huge. We had like a huge let me actually see if I can get some footage from that because we have that stuff on YouTube here. See, this is a more interesting show. All right. The hell with the rest of the news. I mean, bad stuff happened and good stuff happened, and we'll check that out at some point. But yeah, I just don't feel like doing the news today. You got all the dangerous stuff that needed to be known about, so it's all good. All right, let me go find this. Just got to go over to YouTube and then see history. See if I could find the damn thing. I watch so many YouTube videos. It's insane. Okay, so this is just like a quick 1 minute clip of Magical Mystery Doors performing last year over at Clover Stadium.
Wait, you can
Damn it.
declutter on Vinted?
Stupid
Yep. Earn
freaking
cash from homeware,
advertisement. Okay, here we go.
fashion.
All right. All right. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. I can't tell what you're hearing on the other end. I got the headphones in, and all of a sudden it just like crackled a little bit. But yeah, that was Magical Mystery Doors. They played over at Clover Stadium last year along with 10 other bands. Yeah, we took it to 11 last year. We threw everything at the wall, mud and all. Lots of money. I'll tell you that much. We threw lots of money at it, and we saw what stuck. And then for Rockland Music 12, like any good artist, such as Michelangelo, Leonardo, you chip away the stuff that is not part of the sculpture. And that's basically what we're going for this year. We're basically looking to take the best of what we've learned over the past 11 years doing these festivals and really bring it home. So I'm hoping you'll join us with this. And, as I mentioned, this one's a little bit more personal for me because our main focus, our purpose for doing this is to give back to several families that either lost a loved one in a traffic accident or who was injured severely in a traffic accident. And it's part of our message at Rockland's News this year. Slow the F down on the road. Going too fast, yo. Listen, if it says 25 miles per hour, do 23. Like I get it. The pressure of like, you got to get there. You got to be there quicker and faster, and you got to do it faster than the last. Slow it down. All right. I could say this very, and I mentioned to you many times before on the air, I lost my dad when I was 12 years old in a traffic accident. When I drive, I tend to, stay around the speed limit. There's always, every once in a while, if there's a school bus in front of me or, a nice elderly old lady or old man or old them, and they're going like 4 miles per hour. Don't get me wrong. I get PO'd. I'm like, oh, come on. Can you please just like freaking floor it or something? I got places to go, but I never honk. All right. Because I don't want them to be disturbed in their in their golden years or in the bus. And also I want them to be safe. So it's annoying, it's frustrating, but I slow the F down on the road. So I hope you will slow the F down on the road as well. And it's it's a better way because it's not worth your life and it's not worth somebody else's life that you might have accidentally missed because you're going so fast. It's like you couldn't process the information coming in fast enough and bing bang boom, an accident happens. So we don't want that. Slow the F down on the road. And to make our point, we have the largest Guns N' Roses tribute band on the East Coast coming in to do Rockland Music Fest 12, along with 5 other amazing bands, including the George Romano Band. So it's going to be fantastic. And I hope you'll join us. You can learn more at rocklandmusicfest.com. And tickets are on sale right now for $24. We're going to have some promo codes out there to bring the price down a little bit. You could choose your favorite bands or whatever. But yeah, so that's what the cost is. And we're not going to be able to hold 6,000 people this time. I'm guessing, I think the capacity of the park is about anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000. So, trimming it down to the right common denominator. I have a feeling that we're going to be able to get quite the crowd for this one, especially given the headliner band. But come early, come for the food trucks and or the vendors and or the activities. We're bringing back the air guitar contest that we started when we were doing this as Stony Music Fest. We're going to have 4 different categories: under 12, teenager, adult, and I'm sorry, we're going to have 3 categories. We're going to have 3 categories for the guitar thing. We'll have some other contests. We'll have 50/50s all day long. And we're going to have some amazing bands. We got the George Romano Band. We have Lillian Brown and the Groove Cats. We have Regular Riot. And that interview, by the way, is available with Regular Riot. You can go over to Facebook and head down the page, and you'll see the Regular Riot interview that we did on Wednesday, and it'll be available as a podcast shortly. Plus, we have Michael Hilliard and the Working Class. We have JP Con Queso. This is my friend up north. That's what he's doing. He's going to be the opener for Appetite for Destruction, and then Appetite for Destruction is going to be performing. So get there early, bring a cooler, bring a lawn chair. This one's going to be epic. There, I said it. Okay, so it's 9:56. Let me just scan and see if there's anything on the news that you should actually know. Where are you? News. Energy costs become an issue in the New York 17 congressional race. Higher electric bills are becoming part of the debate in the congressional district that includes all of Rockland County. An advocacy group criticized Congressman Mike Lawler over his support for federal legislation that changed energy tax credits. Lawler's campaign pushed back, arguing that New York state energy policy is a larger factor in high energy prices. Lawler supports reopening the former Indian Point nuclear facility, while Democratic challenger Kate Conley favors a mix of renewal and other energy sources and opposes reopening the plant. Utility costs are influenced by multiple factors, including generation, transmission, regulation, weather, and consumer usage. I actually do have some experience in this, believe it or not, because I sit on a board up in Highland Falls. It's High Point Utility. If you actually go to YouTube, and you can see a 2-minute video about the plans for a microgrid that is aimed to be installed in West Point. That's the board that does this. Now, I'm not installing it myself. I'm just sitting. I'm the secretary. I record notes for the meeting. It's a public meeting. But it's actually very interesting because it caused me to realize, and it's, by the way, 100% sustainable renewal. Okay. But it's also grid locked beyond all freaking reproach. I just said 15 years. That's probably a low estimate of what it takes in order to get an energy related initiative green lighted by the federal and state governments. So, I mean, this is just my opinion. Okay. I think it's more than, higher electric bills as a result of one person, whoever that may be. It really is like, when you are a congressperson or an assembly person or a senator, you are one voice of many. The votes are the votes, and that's it. So very important there to note during this election. And there's other bad news that I'm scanning, but listen, you don't even have to worry about that. It is Friday. It's going to be a rainy one, but I think tomorrow is going to be kind of nice. I do hope you all have an excellent weekend, and we will be back. I'm going to be on vacation next week, by the way. I'm taking my podcast studio with me, and I may or may not be doing interviews down there, but it's the end of the summer. We recognize everybody's probably on vacation at this point. So we're just going to kind of tone it down for a few weeks as far as the news. And we're going to start ramping up Rockland Music Fest. Again, September 12th, 2026 at Bowline Point Park. Get your tickets now at rocklandmusicfest.com. 5 bands plus our headliner, Appetite for Destruction, the largest Guns N' Roses tribute band on the East Coast. On behalf of Tom Osa and Robert Joasis and Lara and Derek and Linda and my, oh, nope, nope, no, no. But on behalf of everybody else, we wish you a great weekend. Ta. Yeah.